Welcome back to the channel. Today this is a recommissioning video of this, which is my 1985 Volvo 340. Now it's not really recommissioning from anything other than me simply not having used it. That's the truth of the matter. So I want to give it a really good service. I want to check through the brakes, check the cooling system, check the Varimatic belts, check all the rubber components, just make sure everything's above board really. I've got a good friend of mine, Jim, is going to be borrowing it for a few days, so I want to make sure that hopefully it doesn't break down for him. So let's get to it. So just opening up the bonnet. Oh no, I left the battery connected. Well, that's foolish of me, wasn't it? Okay, the beauty of having multiple cars that are basically exactly the same is you can steal the battery from one to put it in the other one. Right, one stolen battery in place. Let's have another go. Almost. One more time. Oh, very good. Hooray, we have some life. Well, very good news is it sounds really sweet and healthy, so that's great. I'm pleased with that. So it's just a case of kind of servicing it and trying to get everything working on it. So the first thing I'm going to repair is the heater blower, which isn't blowing at all. I think the motor is, or the fan itself is actually seized, because it was seized before. So I'm just going to put a few drops of oil into the shaft. Okay, I've put a few drops of lubrication on where the motor grips onto the shaft. Over the other side, let's see if it's a bit free. And they are. Still a little bit of resistance, but hopefully that should be enough to make it work. Let's have a look. Yay! 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Okay, one thing fixed, just a lot more to go. You may have heard when it started the fan belt was loose. The reason for that is that I loosened the alternator a little while ago to see if I could test the bearings, but it seems to be I can't get this bolt out to get the alternator off. But I don't think there is anything wrong with the bearings, but I was just going to kind of do a little twirl by hand just to see if I could hear anything, just in case. But anyway, over here I've got the I don't know, auxiliary belt, or whatever you might call it, fan belt, because it doesn't drive a fan anymore. As far as I can see, it's in really good condition, so I'm very happy with that. It's probably not that long, not that old. So good news, I'm managing to withdraw this alternator bolt just with a ratchet. Hooray! So that means that now the belt can be loosened off. You can turn the alternator. I don't think there's any noise in there. It doesn't feel rough. It feels good. So I think that's fine. So we'll let's put it back together again and tighten that fan belt. The little adjuster slider here, which kind of locks the alternator in place, was actually missing its screw. So I found a new screw that fits. So I put that in there. So my next job is just to kind of lift the alternator up till it's really tight, the fan belt's really tight, and then just nip up that screw and nut. Right, that's the alternator all back in position with the adjuster bolt now in place and tightened, and the fan belt itself is really nice and stiff, so that shouldn't squeak now. Excellent. The distributor cap, I know, is almost brand new, because there was a crack in the old one, so I had to buy one not that long ago. Those steering gaiters look fine. This is the electronic ignition unit. It's called a Renix on a 340. The radiator is new a few years ago. The old one was absolutely destroyed, so it was worth getting a new one. There's an advisory on the MOT for corrosion on the front springs, but they're actually really not that bad. They don't seem that corroded at all. This bottom cup is corroding a little. When I take the wheel off, I might give it a quick coat of paint actually, just to protect it. Otherwise that seems fine. The tyres, I'm afraid, are cracked quite badly. They're not even that old. You can see down there they are week 18 of 2011, so they really are only 10 years old, but they are cracked, so I'll have to get some new ones of those put on. Fuses all look great. I think they're new, replaced by me, so they're all fine. Wipers look a little bit buggered, so I'll get some new ones of those, especially the front headlight wipers, which have lost the actual blade, so I'll get a full new set of yes, happily destroying this, get a full new set of wipers. So I've inspected the front brakes on both sides. This is the second one I've looked at. I can't see anything obviously wrong. I mean, the caliper looks a little bit rusty. There's plenty of meat on the brake pads. The discs are just a little bit rusty because they've just been sitting for so long. They're free, but they pull just a little bit. So I think it just needs to be driven a little bit, and that will free those off, and they should be fine. Brake hose here doesn't seem to be cracked or anything. It's flexible, it's fine. It seems okay. So yeah, I think front brake's probably alright. Go and check the back ones now. So I'm looking now at the rear suspension on the driver's side. I'll have a look at the brakes in a minute, but this shock absorber, yeah, there was an advisory in the MOT that it was rusty, or the cover was rusty, which it is. So that's probably worth replacing. There was also an advisory of a diff leak, and I think that is the, I don't know whether you can see, but the CV boot coming out of the differential seems to be, the clip isn't tight enough. So I'll see if I can get a better clip or tighten that up. You can also see a glimpse of the Varimatic belts now as well. Hooray! So this is the driver's side rear brakes, seem to be in good condition. I think this is new, this isn't leaking. The cylinder, the little handbrake adjuster, which is just there, that little, you see the little cog kind of thing, that doesn't seem to be rusty or seized up. The drum came away very easily, and yeah, the shoes look in good nick as well, so I'm pretty happy with that. I have also put a new clip on the end of that CV boot there from the diff, so that should hopefully cure that leak and remove that advisory from the MOT. Just doing a little light test. Looks like my passenger side headlamp is out, so I shall replace that bulb. Rear lights all seem present and correct, number plate lights included. Reverse lights also work. I can't test the brake lights easily because there's only just me here, and I've put my tripod away, but I'm sure they're fine, I've decided. Fog light works too. Let's put the hazards on. Well, that's flashing at a normal rate, which suggests to me that everything is probably working. Yep. Side repeater, indicator, side repeater. Very good. So just need a new headlight bulb. Right, it is now a few days later, and it's a beautiful autumnal day with drizzle and cold. So yay, October is nearly here. Anyway, today is MOT day. So I've just got a few little jobs to finish off from parts I've bought. So I've bought new wipers, new battery, that kind of thing. So let's get those fitted this morning. Right, let's get the wipers sorted first. Bosch wipers. Gonna get all those maybe Bosch as well actually. Bish bash. Get them on. One wiper. Two wipers. That's not all the tinkering with wipers I'm going to do today. I'm going to see if I can get the old blades off these headlamp wipers and put some of the rubber from the wipers I just took off the windscreen, because it's not that bad, onto here. So let's see if I can get these off. Okay, let's go and take the disgusting damaged rubber off and replace it with some slightly less damaged rubber. Right, I'm going to shelter my front door away from the rain whilst I fiddle with these wipers. There, old rubber out. So, next job is to do exactly the same on the big wiper. Of the two that were on the car, this one is in the better condition. In fact, it really doesn't look too bad at all. Scientifically cut the correct length. Done. Throw that old one away. Just need to feed these metal strips back on. Now let's feed the arm through, if I can get it on. Right, after a bit of fiddling, that's one new headlamp wiper. Well, recycled, I should say. And there's the second one done. Two new headlamp wipers, kind of. Yes, we have light. Next exciting job is the new battery has arrived, so just need to take out the green car's battery and return it to its rightful home and put the new battery in place. Next exciting job is to just check the tyre pressure, so the front should be 27 and the rear's 30, so let's have a look. Right, front driver's side is 21, so I think we need to change that. This rear one is at 23 and a half, so you need to put this up to 30. And I'm just getting the other side done as well. Right, well, I've done everything I can. I've done a few things off camera, so I've wire brushed some of the front suspension and the rear suspension and just tidied that up a little bit, made it look a bit better. I'm curious to where it was rusty, so that's definitely looking a lot better, giving the car a wash so it looks a little bit smarter. So we're now in the hands of the MOT gods, so off I go to the garage. Well, there it is at the MOT station. Good luck. Right, I'm back in the car and we have an MOT certificate, but it is a fail, which is fine because it's actually failed mainly on tyres. There's a tear in one of the tyres and a crack damage in another tyre. I was going to replace all 4 tyres anyway. I just thought they weren't bad enough to fail the MOT, maybe an advisory, but no, it is a fail. So I'm actually really pleased that they failed in a way, because they did look, as I was inspecting them this morning, putting them on and off the car, I did think that they shouldn't really pass an MOT with these because they really are quite cracked. So that's good. I'm going to go home and order some tyres. That's brilliant. The other fail is that there's a brake bind on one of the front calipers, which, to be fair, is completely expected, so given it's been sitting for so long. So I just need to take the caliper off and just give it a little bit of copper grease on the sliders, and hopefully that should stop it binding. So there we go, gonna go home and get that sorted, and then I can come back in within the next 10 days for a retest. Well, this is fun. I've driven approximately 30 seconds from the garage and the tyre actually failed. So just changing it now. Woohoo! Done it now. I'll go back to the garage and maybe just get them to pump that up. Home now. Here is the offending tyre with its offending split. So yeah, I'm going to get on the internet and order me up 4 brand new tyres, I think. So the saga continues. It is now a few days later, and I've just this morning had 4 new tyres fitted. They're Toyos. That's the tyres dealt with on the MOT. I have, as you have seen, overhauled the front brakes. So I am off to the MOT station to have a retest. Wish me luck. Well, happiest of happy days, we now have a pass. Hooray! That means that I'm not a terrible mechanic, which is always good, and it also means that I've now taxed the car as I was having a coffee and I saw that it had passed, so we're now all lovely and road legal. So hey, good news. So that's the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope it hasn't been too boring. I do apologise that on some of these tinkering videos I can't wear my normal lapel microphone because it's wired and I'd just trip over everything if I wore it, so do forgive me that some of the there's a bit of wind noise and that kind of thing. Anyway, I'll be back with another video very soon. See ya, bye.